Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is a margarita episode.
It sure is, yeah. It's been a while, but we've managed to make our way back to the old Margs. Margarita-fueled episode here.
I feel like I'm already crashing out, so I'm really going to try to keep it together.
Really? It wasn't that. This is like less than what we've done in previous Margs.
I know, but I'm a
little bit
out of practice.
I guess that's the difference now, yeah.
But this is Sister Wives Season 20, Episode 2, Welcome to Speed Dating.
Welcome to Plathville, Meri. That would be a nightmare to have all of the Plaths walk in at your speed dating event.
Which one would she date?
Micah, because she could verbally berate him the longest.
We did see that. That was proved out in real time this last season. Yeah. What about Barry? No.
Barry has weird energy.
Maybe Kim. Who's to say? In this episode, Meri tries to look shy and pretty at speed dating. Kody makes plans to flee the She-Rah Chateau. Janelle conjures up a parting gift. Christine and David get stuck in a Sharknado.
This is true. These are all things that actually happened on the show.
Okay, did the end of the episode live up to how I made it out to be? Because I watched it first and I told you, it's a real cliffhanger.
Yeah, action-packed. Well, it goes about as well as any Brown family move would go, I suppose. Like, for moves on the show, this one was actually pretty mundane, I guess.
I'm going to be disappointed if that tornado doesn't take out a tire or two.
Well, it took out the windshield. It sounded like already the hail. Spoiler alert. We'll get there.
That windshield was fucked before the tornado did anything to it.
Yeah, I don't know how well maintained it was. Much like how Kody's tires at the end for the Flea High move at the end of season 2. How much of that was due to the move? How much of that was due to just complete negligence, vehicular negligence?
They were balding just like him.
No maintenance whatsoever to be done.
All right, so we were left at speed dating in the last episode where Meri and Jen have showed up to this event together, even though Jen keeps telling everyone, I'm not single.
They had to draw it out. They had to stretch this out.
Why?
They had to fill time for Meri's storyline. The build-up to speed dating was the entirety of episode 1. This is a slow-moving story here.
So it was this or taking the time to learn to fly a plane, apparently, because they're doing a little pre-speed dating, like getting Meri comfortable with the questions. And one of the hobbies that she hasn't gotten around to on her bucket list is to learn how to fly a plane.
Oh, so then she would date Isaac Plath, then. That would line up. Or she would date KK Ken. That's probably what we're learning.
Maybe a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, probably. That's how that's going to go.
His appeal is, I guess, universal among women on reality TV.
He has the Kavorkia, yes. But what does Meri have? Like, for flying a plane, does she have the skill set that would be required for flying a plane? Because Jen would have to be there, too.
She needs a co-pilot. So,
yeah,
of course.
But Jen doesn't know how to fly either, so... Is it Jen teaching Meri how to fly when neither of them know how to fly? Or do you need to have Jen in the jump seat? Which one's the jump seat?
I'm going to need them to abandon the entire dating storyline and just have these two go to like a flight simulator.
Well, we do know
we do that?
That Meri did skydiving. There was the nameplates that somebody found in the Discord.
I guess when Kody went skydiving, was it on an episode of this show? Am I completely fictionalizing that?
You are completely fictionalizing that. That was not a storyline for the show.
Okay, well, I guess they went speed dating, speed jumping, plane diving, skydiving. Thank you. We got there.
They're plane hopping, plane jumping.
They did that together, but when they put their names up on this plaque, they put them on different lines.
So it was like the end of a row. So it was like Kody Brown, and then chick, register, change, new line, Meri was all the way at the opposite end.
That was an omen. That was
Symbol,
an omen.
yeah.
So we know she's been up in a plane and jumped out of one. So I don't know. Maybe she could pilot one.
That's a different skill set. Again, and because most of the time, if you're doing a skydive, you're doing a tandem jump, you're not really doing most of the work.
I don't think that.
You're just kind of going.
I don't think Kody and Meri tandem jump together.
No, you have to tandem jump with someone who knows what they're doing when they're jumping out of a plane. Because Kody and Meri tandem jumping out of a plane for skydiving is about as scary of a scenario as Jen and Meri flying solo in a single prop cockpit together.
Like Amelia Earhart. We'll never know what happened to her.
They're going straight for the Bermuda Triangle.
The other question that she's supposed to ask everyone is, what crimes have you committed?
Because you can't say, what crimes have you been convicted of? Or there was like loopholes that they wanted to leave closed. You have to tie this up with a nice bow on top. So then that way they can't weasel their way out of this question.
So based on the crowd that we saw, what do you think the most common answer to this question would have been? Because she posted out and she didn't ask it from what we saw. She didn't ask it and she didn't answer it.
I've been instructed by my legal team not to answer that. That's how I would answer that at speed dating, and that's why I wouldn't end up on dates.
I feel like a lot of the people there live streamed from the Capitol on a certain day.
I thought that too, yeah. I thought insurrection seemed like the thing, but that's not a crime anymore. That's actually, yeah.
Loophole.
Yeah.
Really looking for a guy who's 6 foot tall. That's very important to her. She was married to a narcissist for all of these years.
6'5", blue eyes. That's
looking for a man in finance.
That's all she has on the list right now. But then at least she did open up and say, okay, well, if he's less than 6 foot tall, I will not completely ignore him, though, which that's nice. That's reassuring. I won't completely dismiss someone based on their height. Okay.
I think the perfect guy for Meri is 6 feet under.
She needs to find an 80-year-old oil tycoon with 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
Who can pop out the hearing aids so they don't have to listen to the horribly abusive things that she has to say. The jokes, because she's got lots of them.
Jokes. See, the sense of humor part is what got me, because was it Jeff? Was that one of the guys who sat down?
Yeah, he was the old guy who was making all the plig jokes that Meri didn't appreciate.
Yeah, he was grandpa joking with her. Meri did not like that sense of humor, the jokes that Jeff was throwing out there to her. But I don't think what she realizes, she fails to realize that she established that patter before.
Patter?
Yeah, the
banter,
the repertoire, the repartee. That's it. Yeah, she established that. Because she was ripping on him. She punched down at him about, he was saying, how long have you been divorced? And she goes, yeah, divorced is the word. So instantly.
Was that a joke?
That's not a joke. That's what I'm saying. But she went at him. She's joking in her mind. She thinks that's a joke. But then when he fires back with something of oh, she's a little snarky. She's got, kind of an edge to her here. I'll match that energy.
You can't take it.
I've been married twice, not at the same time though. And then Meri just instantly shuts down. The ice woman takes over.
Well, she's not used to that kind of humor. I mean, she very highbrow is usually how she goes. Like in the car when her and Jen were practicing. And Jen said, well, what if his name's Bob, but spelled with 2 O's? And then Meri cackled. Like Janelle belly laughing in this episode. Janelle cracked herself up. Did we pitch our show? Did we pitch our show last episode?
The
Tata Farm show?
Yeah.
The spinoff?
Uh-huh.
This was a good audition for that.
Yeah,
Janelle.
I mean, that shows, most jokes should be for your own entertainment. And then if other people are entertained by it too, cool, there you go. And then just be mindful of, not at the expense of other people, unless they deserve it.
Which is mostly what this podcast is built on.
Yeah.
So don't listen to us.
Yeah.
So was this ever really going to be a genuine attempt at finding someone to date? Because
not with Jeff.
Not only is the speed dating whole thing, the event looked pretty pathetic. there were a lot more papers and pens set out than there were people present. And then you have to find people who are willing to be on camera.
You know, if I had to drive 3 hours and then this is what I showed up to at a church, like an old church.
Wasn't the speed dating event we saw on Virgins better?
Was that the yoga one? Or like the massaging? That would be the one that Kody would go to. There was a lot of physical touch.
There were a lot more people who showed up to that one.
A lot of physical touch in that one, which we know Cody's love language from Christine's book, #1 New York Times bestselling book, Sister Wife. We know Kody loves a massage.
Loves a full body massage.
A deep appreciation.
He doesn't get what speed dating is because they tried to get him to comment on this. And he's like, well, that's kind of what I was doing.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was not, sir.
Different. Speed dating.
You skipped dating.
I think, yeah, it was no dating. It was speed courtships. That was what you were on. That's different.
He did, like, in passing mention that most of his dates were first dates that never progressed further because they thought he was too weird.
That tracks. Yeah, that makes sense.
I am appreciating that he sometimes can be a little bit introspective. No?
That didn't feel as introspective, though.
I mean, he said something about himself that was negative. Is that progress?
I think he was poking fun at himself because a lot of good that did him.
Daniel the Tiger is another
Daniel
one
Tiger.
we have,
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
were calling him.
Uh-huh.
The 37-year-old guy who she had very good conversation with.
He was very easy to talk to.
You know, maybe a little conversation, a little chemistry there.
Not chemistry so much as a maternal draw to his well-being, a concern.
I was just wondering if she was going to lower her age bracket and maybe slip into cougar life.
Yeah, that's what I was joking about too. I was like, oh, is this the guy she keeps taking pictures with on Instagram and everybody thinks it's her boyfriend? So then she started jokingly tagging him as her boyfriend so that the articles could come out about that. No, it's not him.
And then we get Ron. Ron, stop. Different Ron.
Different Ron.
Wouldn't it
Swanson.
be great? It was the cast of Jersey Shore at the speed dating event.
A lot of grenades. A lot of grenades at this speed dating event.
The positive for Ron is that he appears to be 6 foot tall and he didn't wear sweats.
He looks like he takes care of himself, which Meri appreciates. That's good.
You thought Ron had cult leader eyes, right?
Yeah, I thought he had like mega church pastor vibes. Then seeing him look into Meri's eyes, then I was like, oh, he's got like Rasputin eyes.
He's hypnotizing her. I guess Jen found him when he first came into the room because he was late and she thought this is the one.
He's not punctual.
Well, I mean, that's never been a problem in this family, right?
15, 20 minutes late.
They
How
all run a
late are
little
we
behind
talking?
schedule.
Yeah, like a couple minutes.
Was he a production plant or did Jen just tell him everything to say? Because he likes dogs, he likes to travel, he's got a vacation home, he's got a vision board.
I wasn't sure. Does he watch the show? Does he have a read on Meri?
I don't think you knew who Meri was.
No?
No, I didn't get that vibe.
Okay. So maybe this is, I think Jen gave him the stuff to focus in on. But then what's wild here is even at the conclusion of this speed date, which goes really well, and that Meri is like, yeah, he checks off pretty much everything on my list. I'm not sure if I'm going to pair with him, though. I don't know if I'm going to fill out the QR code to follow up.
She doesn't even know if she's going to fill out the sheet. That's the whole point of going to speed dating.
You can't decide on the fact that he checked every single box on your list. You're still going to hem and haw over that?
It's because she can't face the rejection because she knows he wasn't into her. Because
Oh.
the only nice thing he really had to say about her afterwards was that she's a handsome woman.
She's got nice, unique face.
He liked her hair.
Her hair.
Bad
her
taste,
eyes.
right? Everybody criticizes Meri's hair because it's very sharp and choppy.
This is like a different phase of it, too, because this is kind of a transition Meri-Harry situation.
It's a little grown out. It looks
bit.
a little better after it's had 6 to 8 weeks when it's time for another haircut.
As soon as she's going to go get chopped again.
She's striking. That's what he had to say about her. We already talked about Kody and his love language. You said that, right?
The massage, full body massage.
So, but Meri's love language is also physical touch.
That's why she was withering on the vine for so many years there. Not enough hugs.
I wanted Robyn to have to answer that. Gifts. Gifts.
Gifts.
That has to be her top one.
Estate?
She would say acts of service, though.
Servicing.
Estate.
She needs a good servicing once in a while.
All right, well, we're up to them. You want to talk about Kody and Robyn? Their riveting storyline for this season, which we predicted like 2 seasons ago.
Less licking this time around, which I'm into. Yeah, this is good.
So we open with Kody cutting apart what I can only assume is the tree that he cut down last season. He still hasn't gotten around to chopping that thing up and removing it.
Been meaning to. Yeah, he's had it on his list of things to do. Still really bad with a chainsaw. I'm nervous every single time we see this man wielding a chainsaw.
The smell, though, it's nostalgic for Robyn. It takes her back to her early years in Montana.
What does that have to do with it?
She loves the smell of forks.
Back when her dad was a sheriff.
I feel like Robyn, if she went to therapy and had to do work on her early childhood, she's just fictionalized the entire thing, and it's the plot of Twilight. Shall we talk about Coyote Pass?
All right, let's get to it, Spider Monkey.
So they have to do something with this land. And let's be honest, like their motivation has to be that they've decided they want to sell the She-Rah Chateau.
Yeah.
And they need some capital. So all of a sudden, the two of them are discussing it's time after 5 years to finally figure out the mess that is Coyote Pass.
And they're realizing that the only way that Meri and Janelle are going to get on board is if they do an even split. So everybody's name has to be equal on the title for all the plots. So that way everybody gets a 25% share. When we sell this, it's a nice, easy, clean deal for everybody all around. This is giving very much Ethan Plath rushing for divorce now that he has a girlfriend sort of a vibe here, where it's like, yeah, very clearly this is working in Kody and Robyn's benefit. This is what they want to happen now. And even though Meri and Janelle wanted to be done with the property and get out while they could, that wasn't going to happen because Kody and Robyn didn't feel like it yet. It has to happen on their terms.
Robyn's still trying to pretend, though, that she is so emotionally attached to this property that she's in tears. And she acted like she didn't want to talk about it at first because she put so much good energy out on that property when she would just traipse upon it.
You know, they had footage of her walking around with her Stevie Nicks hat, flopping around on the land, putting out her good vibes. That was her major investment. That was what she was spending most of her time doing, allegedly. We didn't have any bench footage, though. Remember there was like a whole season where she just parked on a bench?
I need a supercut of all of the footage they have of Robyn on Coyote Pass. Because there's more. We've never seen this one.
This one was new. So I don't know if they filmed this as like a recreation. They were like, oh, you were mentioning, you know, walking around the property and putting those good vibes out. Can you show us what that looked like? And so she was like, oh, yeah, sure.
This is a recreation.
Let me get right on that.
Maybe they are creating new footage because to your point, when we were watching it, they're still using that same picture, the last photo taken of the family together. But now they're zooming in as close as possible to each individual person as though we're not going to realize it's the same picture.
Oh, they didn't take new photos? That was, they had me convinced because that family photo session was when they first moved to Flagstaff. So what was that? End of 2018, 2019? It was pre-COVID.
Use AI.
At this
point. Get me something new to look at.
At this point, just take some photos. Yeah, staff photographer. You have these people for their ISO interviews. Do some headshots at this point.
But so do you agree that Robyn cursed the property?
Curse? I mean, I don't know if it was a curse necessarily. Just her presence alone is enough of a drag on any sort of progress that's going to happen, though.
I was so happy that Janelle pointed out that Robyn's house, the She-Rah Chateau, is so close to the property that it's basically like she was living there anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure because Janelle spent every night in that RV on Coyote Pass looking up at that house and
right
shaking
through the windows,
shaking her fist up at the balcony there. Like these motherfuckers.
Watching Robyn scroll on QVC through the window.
Yeah, you can see everything. There's no blinds. There's
binoculars.
No curtains. Yeah, there's nothing. She grabbed a telescope.
She did have a telescope out there.
She's ready.
Do we believe that the fairness is because Robyn insists upon it? Because this is where we finally get to see Kody do the mwahaha scary ass face that he made in the trailer. Where he's talking about how he has this angelic wife who won't let him screw anybody over.
I mean, I guess the thing is, it's like Kody and Robyn had their name on every single plot. So they could sell Coyote Pass without Janelle and Meri splitting up on the title and making it fair and even. Would Kody do that, though? I don't know if he actually would follow through with that, because then that would open him up to recourse then from Meri and Janelle saying, hey, I got screwed on this deal.
Yeah, it sounds to me like whatever attorneys they hired did a real good job scaring the shit out of him.
They were like, you know what you need to do? This is the easiest thing. Because it was the same thing with like Christine when Kody took his name off her house and she goes, here, you just take my share of Coyote Pass and I'm washing my hands and walking away. We're calling it even. It's a fair split. So just, this is a clean break. This is a way to not drag things out. If you screw them out of this deal, you're just going to open yourself up to, then they're going to come after you. And then that opens it up to every single stupid painting that you've bought over the years.
He's worried about the assets that he's amassed.
The scrutiny that you will face if you try to screw them is not worth it.
We know that they sold their house because that happened between seasons, like most things do, because it takes so long for this show to go from filming to being on TV.
Too long.
But so this is like a package deal is the way they're presenting it, is they're going to sell Coyote Pass and they got to get out of the She-Rah Chateau because of exactly what we predicted, which is that it has just bad memories there. It's yucky energy and Kody doesn't want to be there anymore.
To be fair, I was ready to move out of our place where we lived through COVID too.
That was just because we were tired of looking at the walls.
But also, yeah, I mean, like, I think that was part of it. It was like an apartment townhome type setup thing. So it was just like, it felt very temporary. And then we were there for longer than we expected. So I think that was like part of it too. If it was our own house, that's not something where it's just, oh, I've experienced trauma here and like
life.
I've
experienced life, which has ups and downs, and now I no longer want to live here anymore.
I can't live here anymore because there's too many bad things that now I can't even enjoy any good things.
I just feel like that's such a disconnected from reality thing to just be like, I'm just going to up and move.
Well, to think that that's going to solve anything. How has that been working for you? Because we've been watching it happen repeatedly, because the way that he looked at Robyn and said, I wasn't really that unhappy before moving to Flagstaff. Like, this is where my unhappiness really came to the surface. Can we double check the footage in Vegas repeatedly between either the temporary rentals or when they moved into the cul-de-sac? There were plenty of times where Kody was not happy with his surroundings.
Well, but then why did you have to fight Christine so hard when she wanted to move to Utah? Or just move somewhere because she was not happy with Flagstaff. If you too have been unhappy this entire time.
Because that outweighed
rewriting history.
Well, yeah, and like that, and then also at that time, it felt better to deny Christine moving to Utah than it did not being happy in Flagstaff.
That was a bright spot, I guess.
That was great.
In all the darkness.
Positive for Kody. Net positive, yes.
Why does Robyn keep making it... She's like differentiating now between her family and all of Cody's other kids.
Ooh, yeah.
She didn't used to really do this, did she?
It has been cropping up a little bit more, and I think it was like post-COVID.
Because it gets highlighted here because they're talking about like what's the new house going to be like. And of course, Robyn's up for it as long as they get a bigger, better house that her kids and grandchildren can come back to.
What was going on with their conversation where they were having this conversation in 4 different places? They had this conversation initially out while
by the tree.
Kody was lumberjacking off in the front yard. So that was where it started, where it was like, hey, you kind of got to let this Coyote Pass thing go. Now Kody brings the updated deed information to Robyn in the dining room or like in the kitchen. But then they talk about it for a second over there. They move over, they sit on the couch in the living room, And then they have to go outside onto the deck. They're already like giving us a tour of the space or something. Like they're trying to sell it.
Maybe they thought there was a good chance this house would still be listed. So
Yeah.
they're trying to make sure, they're advertising it on TV.
They didn't know how long.
You want to see how great the view is from out here?
Yeah, they didn't know how long it was going to be on the market, if it was still going to be there. They're doing like a little showing here.
They're like, can we use this footage on Zillow? Like, can you just upload it?
Yeah. Maybe not the whole conversation, but, just like parts of it or photos. We can use photos of it for the listing. Look at all these great places to have these deep financial, familial conversations in this beautiful house.
So for the new house, the priority is that it's big enough to have all of Robyn's kids come home. But I don't know why she said come home. Just stay.
They stay.
They're never going to leave. And then, and your other kids, if they ever want to, come back eventually. And who's the little one? The little girl with the blonde hair? She never says Truly's name.
No. Kody has to say, like the kids and Truly. Because then Truly's not like one of his kids anymore. It's just, there's a distinction still.
Well, it's like that's the one he's still technically responsible for. All the older ones, that's their problem. Truly, he thinks is going to come back to this house if she has her own room. But she's going to have to get from Utah to Flagstaff first.
That's a big barrier because that's a long bike ride for Truly. Okay. I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh, do you want to go to Janelle and Meri? Or do you want to just keep going with the Kody and Robyn stuff?
Oh,
I
keep
think
going
that was
with
the
Kody.
whole conversation, wasn't it?
That was pretty much it. Is just now what are we going to look for? We have to look for something bigger and better, obviously.
House for mom, and that makes daddy happy.
No, thank you, daddy. Which we do have our No Thank You Daddy shirts available in the merch store, as well as we have a new design, She-Rah Take the Wheel, which a lot of this conversation was at the She-Rah Chateau, which was very applicable.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Sister Witches from last episode. There's a lot of shit in the merch store.
There's new stuff.
It's on Etsy. You can find the link in
It's in the bio. It's in the description.
Bad at pitching this stuff.
Yeah, well, we're trying. If it doesn't sell, if you're listening to this in the future, if it doesn't sell, it's not going to be there anymore. So
we gotta rotate, keep things fresh.
Yeah.
Coyote Pass. So Kody eventually calls Janelle to keep her in the loop that he has figured out the very confusing concept that he needs to put all of their names on each piece of Coyote Pass. Which
Janelle's like, this is incredibly basic, mundane, monotonous stuff that you can do. Very simple. A title change is not rocket science.
He asked her if she was open to that. Like, why would she not be? Because now it's going to legally put her name on each piece of the property so that you can't just up and sell the other pieces and keep all the profit.
Yes, that would be exactly what I was asking for the last 4 years. So, yes, I am on board with that.
But is Meri? That's the big question.
Nobody knows because nobody talks to Meri. Kody definitely doesn't want to talk to Meri. So he wants to throw another barrier in here for Janelle. And he's like, well, why don't you go talk to her about it then? Because I don't want to ask her. So this was just like another one of those things of leave Janelle to talk to Meri. She's not going to want to do that. It'll draw this out.
Yeah, Meri really took that as being a personal offense against her, that Cody's scared to talk to her, but I don't think that's what it is.
Or like that Cody's avoiding her, and it's like, oh, no. This is a punishment for Janelle.
Yeah. I mean, the bonus was that he doesn't have to call you and talk to you. But two people who hate talking to each other, Janelle and Meri. So let's force them to do that.
Plus, has it been a blue moon again recently?
You can't call Meri.
Yeah, you can't call Meri.
Too frequent now.
It's one too many now.
She'll start to think that we're going to get back together.
Yeah, don't want that to happen. I don't want to lead her on.
They're doing this little video chat together. They figured out Zoom.
Yeah.
Kody chose not to be part of it.
Because it was too hard for him. He couldn't figure out the Zoom.
He didn't want to tell Janelle that. He just told her, I don't like you. No, the She-Rah Chateau doesn't have Wi-Fi.
You think he had to hardwire in with his cell phone? He was going to do that? It's very difficult. Janelle's Wi-Fi was a little rocky out there in North Carolina. Yellow bars down in the corner there. I saw it. She's struggling.
I don't think it's going to be any better on the flower farm then.
I don't think so. Nobody comes to Tata Farms for the Wi-Fi.
I think these two thought they were yucking it up together. They're really enjoying each other's company because there's good news today that things are moving forward with fixing the property. And then Janelle takes it a little bit too far by making the joke about how Kody now has his shy, pretty wife.
Well, we've already seen how Meri responds to a joke that doesn't land at speed dating with Jeff. And now we get to see the same reaction with Janelle, where the ice woman takes over and she just shuts down, doesn't say anything, doesn't laugh, but just kind of lets Janelle continue with this. And Janelle continues riffing. She has more bits that she has here too that she's going to test out.
I will say, like, I guess she's been thinking about this a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's got a lot of things to say. It was sad that after 30-something years together, you guys can't just make fun of your ex-husband together.
Meri has been accused of bashing Kody, and that there's this whole camp of people who campaign actively in the family against Kody. So she doesn't want to get lumped in, and she doesn't want all of the accusations to become accurate.
I don't know. After he didn't take the time to personally call me about this, it would have been fair game.
I think I would have ripped on him a little bit. She did, kind of. Not to the extent that Janelle was, though.
No, she did make a
match.
joke about, I guess, that they're making progress, that they've now been able to say to each other, I don't like you. Okay, I don't like you. Maybe we're a step closer to being on the couch together this season. I have too high of hopes.
We'll see how the reconciliation conversations go later this season, because I don't think those go too well.
No. Well, I don't think he's going to take too kindly to the footage of Janelle talking about how if she had been legally his wife, she would have taken half his assets.
That's scary. That's getting close to poverty.
I think she should have gone for more than that. 60, 70%, because that's probably how much she would have worked for.
Alimony, paying her bills.
But Coyote Pass is going to be a nice parting gift for them. A little bit of pocket change.
A parting gift. Meri mentioned how gift receiving is one of her love languages. This might spark an interest in Kody again. So that's my concern. She's going to see a gift from Kody, this parting gift, as a gift that she hasn't received in so long.
Maybe physical touch is next. Who knows?
Oh, boy.
The Mykelti and Tony storyline with moving just came out of nowhere. I feel like that's how the move worked, though.
Well, yeah, like that's how most moves in the Brown family go. It's you go somewhere and you say, I could probably live here. And then you just uproot your entire life and drag your kids across the country and then do that.
I'm sorry, but this is not just anywhere they're going. They're going to the chess capital of the United States, babe.
It's the most friendly state in the union for chess players.
It's not just where chess is. It's where the rest of the family is. It's where
Tata
all
Farms.
the cousins are going to be.
Tata Farms, under construction, but set for open to the public soon, TBD.
I think that all of the kids are just looking for a place to go where they don't have to make that initial investment in the land. If they could just log off the property and build a few cabins, maybe that's a better real estate plan. Because it's not just, now we're having other kids expressing interest in moving there. Peyton, who we know has eventually moved there. Gwen was even talking about that. Probably
Truly.
until she found out that Peyton actually moved.
Yeah, then it was like, nah, I've lost interest.
The whole state is just, we're not going there now.
Off limits.
Truly?
Truly. Christine said that Truly was talking about it too.
Well, she can't leave home yet.
Well, not yet. But it's on the radar, you know? Upcoming. Future seasons.
She's worried that that room's going to open up at the She-Rah Chateau. And she's like, I'm fleeing. I'm going to the other side of the country.
I don't want there to be something that I'm forced into visitation here.
This is obviously very upsetting to Christine because they're all living in Utah together. She's getting to spend a lot of time with Mykelti's kids, Mykelti, Isabel, Aspen, everybody who's living in Utah. And now they're splitting the family up.
She's in her Oma states, and like that's where she wanted to be, and now that's kind of going away.
I kind of get what she was saying, though, where Mykelti put in a lot of effort to try to reunite the family, and there's nothing happening with that. So they just decided then we're going to make our own plans.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. That's not realistic. Mykelti kind of has the same level of delusion, I guess, very similar to Robyn with Coyote Pass, where she is kind of dealing with it it's stranger for Robyn because she's still seeing this as like a 7-year-old watching her parents get divorced. And that's like, there's nothing that she can do about it, even though she is directly involved in some of it too, because it's Coyote Pass. And a lot of the things that you did kind of forced these women to leave the family and stuff like that. So Robyn's a little bit more delusional about it. And then Mykelti was kind of in that same vein where she was trying to be the glue that holds all this together, even though nobody wants to be together anymore. Like, that's the bigger problem here. That's something that you can't will into existence if nobody else wants to be involved.
It is nice that some of the kids are coming together, though, to say, like, well, we still have family. Let's create our own little pod.
Yeah, but that just increases the division, too, I think. And that's where it is the us and them mentality that becomes more full on display here for Robyn and Kody, especially.
The things that create division are when you can't find time in your busy schedule to say goodbye to your daughter and her kids and her husband before they move across the country.
Yeah, that's a big one. They were trying to meet up in St. George, though. Ew, gross. Just going to say that.
Robyn has family there.
I know, right? But not her family. Her family is Dab Sark.
You think he was too busy off filming Special Forces?
He had another wedding that he had to go officiate.
I just don't buy that they're so busy that they can't find time to do something like that.
Just have Robyn stop going out on Coyote Pass, sowing her good vibes around for a couple of hours, zip down to St. George, and give them a send-off here.
And I was wondering, too, about the whole Robyn differentiating the other kids from her kids. It made me think about how there's the rumor that something bad happened at one of the events for Garrison. I don't know if it was his funeral or the burial. It's kind of confusing because they held a couple of different gatherings, but actually it's something that Tony and Mykelti, a rumor they started on their Patreon, was that something that was said or an interaction that was had led to them not wanting anything to do with Robyn anymore.
I think it was at his military service, memorial service one. Because people had looked at the photos too initially and they were like, oh, Tony and Mykelti are sitting really far away from Kody and Robyn, and they kind of look upset too. And it's like, well, obviously they're upset. They're grieving, like that's a big part of it too. So you can't really analyze people's reactions in that moment. But then it was sounding like there was some sort of exchange that happened.
Something happened somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just think it's interesting that now Robyn is going out of her way to call Cody's ex-wives his ex-wives and acting like she's never had a relationship with them. And then also not including herself as being like a stepmom or another mom of the other kids. They're just Cody's other kids.
It's distancing. It's, the posturing here of that separation that happens. So then to complain about this divide in the family, but then you're still a major proponent of it too, that's where it's just more hypocrisy on display.
Well, they've got David to fill in the father figure role now, and he is going to be helping them move to North Carolina, just like he helped Janelle.
He didn't really volunteer. He was kind of signed up for this. Christine had pitched it, and then he was like, well, yeah, I guess that is what I'm doing, because, like, of course I'll do that. But I don't think she, like, asked him about it ahead of time.
He spent a lot of hours in a U-Haul this year.
Yeah. Logging them.
He's going to get his trucking license soon. The dog. We need to talk about this little dog. They're about to take off in the truck, and there's, like, a little Yorkshire Terrier or something.
Yeah, a little Yorkie.
A little puppy, a little puppy doggy.
Not like puppy, but like
I call
looks like an older.
Puppies.
I know, looks like an older dog though.
And where did he come from?
Where
is he? Okay,
neighborhood dog.
This warmed my heart to David because they opened the door and this little dog is outside and he scoops the puppy up, suggests maybe they take it with them, and he actually seems like wanting to figure out where this dog came from and making sure it's safe before they depart. Christine, not so much.
Christine's like, yeah, I don't know. This dog's out in the mornings. It's around my door and like on my stoop and stuff. I don't know whose dog it is. She's like not interested, doesn't care about what's going on.
I care
it's like
so much that I need somebody to confirm that this dog went home and was safe.
Yeah, because it's like, does the dog have a collar? It didn't look like there was a collar on. So, like, are they chipped? Did they get out? Are they just hanging out? Did they let them out? I don't know. Somebody does this in our neighborhood too. They have to, because I keep finding dog poo like further up in our front yard. And I'm like, Maisie doesn't come out here to do her business. So like somebody's just letting a dog loose, but they're not like down by where you would be walking, like a leash range, you know, in the yard. So there's just a dog that's getting out or something. And there's just poo.
Well, we've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Because I would chase a dog down the street with treats and try to get them, save them.
Well, David wanted to bring the dog on the road trip, like just bring him in the U-Haul.
I would have been like, I'm sorry, Mykelti, you'll get your shit when I get there. I need to take the dog to the vet, find out if he's microchipped, find out where he belongs, make sure he's safe before I could get in this car.
Yeah.
Because I will think about it the entire drive to North Carolina.
This seems like it's not out of the ordinary though, because Christine was opening the door and she was like, "Oh, don't let this thing in. Don't let that in."
Does she not like dogs?
I don't know, but it's just like this dog that shows up on her stoop. And it's like, this might be, you know, the cat distribution system. It might be your dog
to
dog take now. In. Yeah. It might be that sort of a setup. You don't know. You got to know.
Maybe they should have delayed the trip by a day or two because they hit some bad weather.
More points for David for as you're driving across the country, you're checking your weather app for the road that's ahead of you. Even though that's really hard to do. You got to go out of your way to do that most of the time. Unless you're just checking the general radar, national level radar. I always thought about that too, of like having basically for your driving directions, if you could input that and then it would tell you the weather along the way if there are alerts.
Someone needs
to
create that app.
That'd be a good app, right?
I think David just on a daily basis looks up to see when's sunrise, when's sunset, when's the tide coming up.
The tide?
How's the wind, the direction of the wind today? And he found out that there's some purple on the map.
Purples and pinks.
The purple in particular denotes that there's something bad happening.
Weather. We got some bad weather rolling in. It's all of the bad weather that Janelle talked about.
It's the spirit of She-Rah.
The storms that are rolling in when she had to go pick up Savannah. And that was always her excuse to leave family conversations was we got some weather rolling in. This is the weather. It's rolling in.
Tony and Mykelti definitely are not checking what's going on.
Clearly not.
They wait until the weather starts, and then they call David and Christine and are like, I think that we've hit some bad weather.
I think we're in a tornado. Like, I think we're in it There's right now.
A 90% chance that it's already raining.
Pretty much. That's what's going on. Because if you're filming the funnel cloud as it's starting to make its descent towards the ground, you're too close and you got too much going on. Yeah, like this is way too much.
I was getting stressed out because hail will fuck up your car.
Oh yeah.
And I can only imagine what it will do to a U-Haul.
When it's parked, like hail will mess up your car stationary. And then when you're driving 65, 70 miles an hour plus down the highway, and then you start getting pelted by hail, that's real bad. That's a lot of damage. So they're not in a U-Haul, though. They're in a car. David and Christine are ahead of them in the U-Haul, going a little bit slower, but they missed the hail. Mykelti and Tony are self-filming in the car as the hail starts hitting, and it's cracking the windshield.
That windshield was already cracked.
I wasn't sure if they'd filmed out of order or if they'd showed other stuff that was happening.
That was a crack that's been there for a long time.
It's got the run.
And has extended across the entire windshield.
Yeah, it was one little chip that you could have sealed, but instead you just kept driving around with it, and every little bump and all the wind and everything like that, it just slowly creeps its way across.
So I don't know. I guess maybe if the rest of the car is okay, then this will probably work out for them because they'll be able to get the insurance to fix their windshield.
Nice.
That was already fucked.
That's a score. That's a win.
Will they survive it? There's no way to know until next week.
I feel like we would have heard something, though, like in the meantime, I suppose. I think they'll be okay, is what I'm getting at.
Next week, Meri is doing the painting thing, similar to what we saw on Plathville, where she's having a little wine and painting night, but it looks like she trades in the banana for the eggplant emoji.
Oh, yeah. Does Meri watch Welcome to Plathville? Or are we getting some crossovers on like the producers who are involved in these shows? Or
Not
something?
a lot of original ideas, huh?
Not so much. Yeah, it's just whatever's trending on TikTok. That's what we're going to go ahead and make. So that 6 months later, a year and a half down the road,
we can remember old times.
We'll be able to reminisce on this and what a fun time it was.
I am going to mentally prepare myself for all the giggling that's going to take place during that scene.
Oh my God, yeah, with a bottle of wine in her.
And then Kody's talking about how Mykelti's moving across country and hopefully they're moving to the other side of Flagstaff. So I hope we get to watch them look at houses and that we're not just going to skip right to they've already found the perfect place and they're moving into it.
I feel like they already found the perfect place, and then that is what brought all this up. And so this is Robyn's acting ability that we're seeing on display here, of how heartbroken she is and how detrimental it would be to stay in the She-Rah Chateau and overlook Coyote Pass as it becomes a residential center or whatever they end up doing. It's just going to be somebody's house because it's zoned for residential. That was their whole issue, was that they couldn't have a multi-living dwelling.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to watch other people build their houses out there because that was her dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, you never did anything to make your dream a reality. So, yeah, you're just going to be upset by watching other people actually utilize a resource that they purchased from you? Why be upset about that? Let it go.
And the tornado continues.
Rages on. Twisters. And then there was another Twister movie, too. I don't remember what that one was called. It came out this past summer.
No idea. But if you're interested in more content and you're not really into tornadoes, we have recaps of special forces that are dropping here on this channel that you subscribe to.
So keep an eye out for those. And then if you're looking for more content, we also have our other podcasts, Surviving Reality, where we're recapping Seeking Sister Wife. And then we also have our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City live after parties on Tuesday nights. Those are over on the Patreon. You don't have to be a paid member, so you just have to sign up as a member, free or paid, and then you get those emails when we go live.
And you can watch them afterwards.
Yeah, they're available on demand.
So even if you're not able to join on Tuesday night,
you can catch them the next day.
It'll be there for you to watch the next day.
Yeah.
That's what we've got for you this week. I'm very excited to see the She-Rah Chateau.
Yeah, the road to She-Rah Chateau.
Yeah, the new dream that's going to be birthed here pretty soon.
We got to outrun all these fill-ins because I'm not going to process through any of this. I just need to pull up stakes and head down to the next house down the road. A bigger house in Flagstaff.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.